When I was in my mid-20s, my younger brother, Ezra, 19, went away to an out-of-state school. I just finished my own stay at my university, so I went back home to find an apartment close to family. Ezra's girlfriend, Melanie, 19, also stayed behind to study at a local college. Her and I would hang out once in a while. I didn't realize at first I was playing with fire by doing this. Melanie and I got closer. We would go to the movies, grab a bite, and we would hang out at family dinners. Ezra couldn't be there, but my dad would extend invites to Melanie, who Ezra dated all throughout high school. They planned to be married after school, so she was family. My dad also remarried, so we were trying to build new bonds with his new wife and her kids, one of which was close in age to Melanie. I guess things began to get messy with my dad's new wife, began to comment that I looked better with Melanie. I had a stable job and was ready to start my life and settle down. Melanie was offended at first, but as we grew closer, she began to also make similar comments. Ezra would come down for summer, or some weekends where they would still sleep together and function like a couple. When he would leave, she would be with me. Things got physical one night after I reacted jealously at her and Ezra snuggling up. It was the turning point that I'd been waiting on. I know now I was wrong, and I'm not proud of any of this. My dad and his wife were at odds over our relationship. My dad was actually furious with me and demanded we stop. Melanie was disinvited from family dinners, and my dad reached out to my mom to inform her about us. My dad's wife had an opposite opinion. I have another sibling, 6 in total, all brothers, Aaron, who suspected something was off. Things came to a head when Aaron took Ezra aside during a visit to let him know what he learned from who knows where. Aaron has always had it out for me, or so I believe, a story for another day. But what happened after set my whole life in motion in the direction it's been for the last decade. It's been just over 10 years since Ezra discovered what we had done and set the whole family on fire. He had a go at our parents and my dad's wife for her involvement and their silence, and then he just left. It took a while, maybe a few months, 8. But he left and I have yet to ever see him again. Those 8 months I was not a kind person. After Melanie was embarrassed and mistreated by Ezra for cheating, I immediately took her in and we became official. Our family disapproved for a while, but eventually they came around. She fell pregnant and I proposed. Her parents and my parents learned of this and agreed that it was best for the baby that we married, so they paid for everything. It was a humble wedding, but my family pulled through for me and showed up. During this time, Aaron continued to lecture my parents about their involvement with our relationship and abandonment of Ezra. I understand that he was in pain and needed them. I did too. I was becoming a new father and husband. I was looking into buying my first home, starting my first big job, and planning a wedding. I didn't expect Ezra to suck it up, but they are my parents too. My parents were preoccupied with us, so much so that Ezra moved a few towns over, and we didn't notice until a month or so. We used to see him around town where he worked, but noticed we stopped seeing him. I reached out only to find his number was changed. Aaron was no help, just criticisms and warnings about Ezra's well-being. No kind words for me, Melanie, or our child though. I lost 2 brothers in actuality. Eventually our wedding grew closer and the invitations were sent out. No response from Ezra and Aaron, which I expected, so I asked my mom to verify with them. I understood if the answer was no. What we found was they were completely gone. Aaron had a longtime girlfriend who RSVP'd no to our wedding and clammed up about where my brothers went off to. One aunt, the one who would often echo Aaron's comments and skipped out on my wedding, let us know that they were safe and that we needed to move on. So that was that. Sad to say I haven't seen them in 10 years. My parents were obviously distraught and regretful. It put a huge damper on our wedding and the birth of my child. We thought about combining their names as a middle name for my son, but ultimately decided no. They would likely never meet my kid, so no need to confuse him. However, watching my parents break down whenever family would get together took its toll. Anyone who knew where they were did not say. It remains a gray cloud over our lives to this day. I thought we had moved on by the time Mel and I had another kid. My parents seemed happy to be with me and my remaining brothers, and they saw that Mel and I were serious about our relationship. An ideal match. Soon enough though, my mom decided to voice her regrets to me and Melanie personally. When she first found out about our relationship, she was staunchly against us, but came around when Mel fell pregnant. Now she remains that she made a mistake where she lost 2 sons. Her relationship with Mel has suffered greatly. My dad's family is much more welcoming to Mel. She's one of their own. My dad does miss his sons, but also loves his grandkids. He was content with this for a long time until my mom went ahead and located Aaron and Ezra. It hurt to feel that she would prefer to have held on to them and lose me and my sons in the process. She found that they were both married. Aaron to his longtime girlfriend who eventually moved away years ago, and Ezra to an unknown woman. Both have a good number of children, more than I have in fact. My mother got some therapy and reached out to my brothers and has made contact with Ezra. Aaron declined to reconcile. So, she's been in contact with him for a year, even going as far as taking my youngest brothers with her to spend Christmas with Ezra and his family. I've seen pictures of his sons and daughters, and his wife too. I thought to keep a lot of this from my dad, but I come from a gossipy family, so I did show him what I found on my mom's Facebook before they could. My dad was overcome again, as if the wound was freshly exposed again. He felt he missed a lot and couldn't bear it. He looked at the images for a long time, and eventually called my mom and they spoke for hours. So, I sit here with fractured relationships everywhere. My mom does not approve of me and my family. Mel and my mom do not speak. My dad is heartbroken. Ezra and Aaron took off and built a life with their own families. From pictures, it seems they are still close, and though Aaron does not speak to our mother, his wife and kids do. The rest of my siblings are young men, just coming into their own. I love them so much, but I can't relate to them like I relate to my brothers who are closer in age. It's been years since I've had to deal with what my actions have caused. My wife is beginning to get insecure about my feelings towards her. She wonders if I regret her and the kids. I want to fix this. I failed to fix it before, but I need to now. I don't know how to repair it though. How can I make amends for a marriage and life I don't regret?